In 1917, the United States entered World War I, and American industry boomed, producing the equipment and supplies necessary to support the growing military needs. President Woodrow Wilson wanted to make sure nothing interrupted a smooth production line, so he established the National War Labor Board to resolve potential conflicts between labor and business leaders.
The Wilson administration was concerned above all with production, keeping the factories moving, and that sometimes meant negotiation and compromise. They wanted to speak to union leaders and get them on their side for the war effort. And the National War Labor Board was designed in part to do that.
The board pressured employers to improve the quality of workers' lives. It encouraged industry to reduce shifts to 8 hours, to pay workers a living wage, and to grant women equal pay for equal work.
They want full production, full employment, and no labor unrest. So they essentially tell American industries, particularly industries making stuff that is used for the war, that you are to pay your workers high wages, you are to reduce their hours of work, you are to recognize their unions and negotiate with them. We do not want strikes.
The National War Labor Board insisted that labor unions avoid all strikes for the duration of the war. This guaranteed that factories stayed open and that American soldiers and overseas allies continued to receive the equipment they needed. But it also benefited workers because employers wanted to keep them happy.
The biggest union was the American Federation of Labor, which was organized primarily around skilled workers and worked closely with the government during the war. Samuel Gompers, who was head of it, came out strongly in favor of the war, and he worked closely with government institutions, particularly the National War Labor Board, protecting workers' rights to organize in exchange for a no-strike pledge from the American Federation of Labor. So you get a kind of negotiated balance between them.
And so American workers earn very favorable wages and have pretty decent conditions for a couple of years there during World War I. And so there's hope that when peace comes, that this will be a golden age of labor, that there'll be this sort of business and government cooperation, making it a better situation for all American workers.
But that didn't happen. When the war ended, American businesses resumed their practice of trying to lower wages and increase workers' hours. Tensions between employers and workers exploded in 1919 when more than 4 million workers went on strike to protest 12-hour workdays and dangerous working conditions.